really long. Low ball. I don't know. I couldn't see. Was that good? One love. From the left, 1-all.
Okay, we're back for the start of the second game. That last rally in the first game ended up with a McArthur backhand cross drop to Zach Alexander's side. And we're 1-1 second game, and Robin Clarke just hits a winner through the middle. That surprised
2-1.
both Stout and McArthur having to play their backhands. Greg McArthur coming around and hitting a really nice backhand cross.
And out. 2-all.
Second game, 2-all. Coming live from the University Club of Boston. 29th year in a row for pro doubles. Got the number 2 seeds playing the number 3 seeds. In black, we've got Robin Clarke from the Toronto Cricket Club, squash director there. His partner, Zach Alexander, who was a pretty good single softball player from Australia, and he's based out of Connecticut at the moment. And their opponents, number 2 seeds. On the left wall, we have the lefty, James Stout, who's number 1 in rackets in the world, and pretty good squash doubles player. I guess he's been in the top couple of teams in the world for the last few seasons. Although, great angle by Zach Alexander. Kind of fooled James Stout. I'm not sure whether he's calling a let or...
Hey, sorry.
It's a score correction by the referee, so I believe it's 2-3. With Robin Clarke, Zach Alexander up. Greg McArthur is from Scotland, and he actually was in Boston for a couple of years and honed his double skills here, and is the squash director at Sleepy Hollow Club, just north of New York City, right along the Hudson River. It's a look what I found winner from Greg McArthur. Looked like Robin was trying to jam him, and Greg just stood his ground, little punch stroke, and hit a cross-court nick.
Down.
Hits another one there from the front of the court. So
from the left, 4-3.
So the team in black is trying to tire out Greg McArthur, who's on the right wall. Yet he's hitting winners at the moment. And the team of Stout, McArthur, trying to go over Robin Clarke's head. There's no point going through him. He's got very good hands. Doesn't make too many errors. Very steady.
No. And out, 4-all.
Zach Alexander serving to James Stout. Second game. Having won the first. Another overhead winner by Greg McArthur. So Robin Clarke's lobs were a little shallow there. And Greg's making him pay. Robin and Greg are pretty tall guys, so it's tough to get it over their heads. And if you don't, they're going to make you pay. Robin likes to come over and play that forehand overhead. It's a little farther away from the side wall. There's an attempted reverse by Robin Clarke, but James Stout saw it, retrieved it, popped it, back it up in the air. There we go. Zach Alexander covers for Robin Clarke. Zach Alexander covering again for Robin Clarke. He's going to do it again. Couple of attempted drop shots in the front right. That duel was won by Zach Alexander this time. Rare error from Robin Clarke. It was a tight ball down the wall from James Stout. These things happen. Greg McArthur cleaning his glasses off. It is probably for the last 20 years has been mandatory for people to wear protective eye gear in squash doubles because that doubles ball is hard, and I know many people who have been hit in the eye with either ball or racket and have spent time in the hospital, cuts, you name it. So eye gear is mandatory. Well, Patience came away with an error from Greg McArthur there, so he's hit a lot of winners from the same spot. So 6-all, second game. I don't think they're going to be changing their strategy anytime soon. They're possibly, midway through the third or fourth game, you might see that. Okay, we're doing a little discussion on that. It was a nice shot by Robin Clarke. So we're going to have a little talk with the officials.
7-6.
So once again, it's Andrew Slater coming from the University Club in Boston, and I'm joined now by Thomas Brinkman, fellow Canadian from Vancouver.
I watched the first game. I'm just checking in now. I don't know what's happening in the second game.
I'm sorry.
It's a similar type of strategy. Both teams are going cross court, high to Robin and high to Greg McArthur. So, at what point, Thomas, do you change strategy? Are you gonna play this game through with that strategy if you're Clarke and Alexander?
So I've played against Robin and Zach many times. I know that their kind of strategy a lot of times is to be out there for 2.5 hours. So even if things are not working, I think they on the surface, if it seems like it's not working, I think they have the long-term strategy.
8-6.
Right, they're prepared to stay out there 2 hours minimum.
And I know McArthur's he's been sick for like a week before here, so he might be struggling with a bit of the bug. So
yeah, he's
9-6.
They know that as well. So I think the long-term play is, I don't know. That's what I think they might be trying to do.
Yeah, so Greg actually has been hitting quite a number of winners. I mean, it's all up to him. He's hit winners and he's hit errors. Yeah, he started off with some winners and just now just 2 errors, but that's probably the sickness and fatigue finally creeping into the middle of the second game.
And the one thing is, that even if Greg is not feeling amazing, Stout is so good at
9-7.
coverage and seeing
Yeah,
the
he's
ball, so
very steady and he moves up and covers when
his
there's
core
no
movement
ball.
is amazing.
Yeah. We're
Yes,
gonna
let.
we're gonna be playing a let there. Went through James's legs.
This is a key game though. Like it'll be interesting to see what happens here.
Yeah, whether you know it or not, Thomas, Greg McArthur spent a couple years here in Boston, so we had him on the court here with Dan Roberts and Preston Quick before he went to Sleepy Hollow in Connecticut, and so he
And out.
spent a couple years
8-9.
here, learning the game. So Thomas, you spent a couple years at Mayfair, and then you went back to
In
Vancouver?
Toronto, yeah. Now back in Vancouver for 3.5 years or so.
So who do you, besides Victor Burke, who else?
Justin
is
Todd,
good?
very good
Oh,
player.
that's right.
Yeah.
How come? Yeah, I know. I saw him play a few times in Toronto, the Cambridge event.
From the left.
So forth.
Yeah,
Is he?
he won it last year.
Okay.
Beat me
8-10.
and Robin in the final. A couple injuries.
James from the left.
I won't say that. No.
James from the left. Stout from the left.
No. Him and Mariani beat me and Robin.
Okay.
In the finals last year.
Good for him. He's got a sister that's a very good doubles
That's
player,
right.
Nikki
She's
Todd.
in the finals of the women's event this weekend.
There's a winner from Greg, by the way.
They had a good
9-10.
Nikki had a good win. Nikki and Georgina Stoker had a good win yesterday. I think they were in. I don't know what the score was in the fifth, but they went to 5. It was 15-12 or so. And then they won
Yes, let.
3-1 today.
Good for them.
Yeah, it'll be good finals for the women for sure.
So we're seeing Greg let the ball go a few times for James Stout to cover with his backhand, and Robin's doing the same thing and letting Zach Alexander cover the ball.
You know what? I would have thought that they'd be trying to play a lot more to the middle, like Zach and Robin, just being
two
two
forehands. Yeah.
Like I would have thought they would have, especially under pressure, just high to the middle, just to get out of pressure. But I'm not seeing that too much.
Robin tried it in the first game, hitting his backhand through the middle to.
Was that a winner? I can see.
Greg, you can tell by Greg's body language that.
Was Zach looked
10
like,
all.
He hit a winner. Yeah. Okay. So Zach made the error there.
But Greg, you could see that Greg had to go up for it to cover,
Yeah.
and he was laboring there.
For sure.
He is.
Well, it's going to be interesting because, like, what everybody knows, like 2-0 to 1-all is a massive change, right?
Yes.
Like mentally coming back.
Especially
from
the first semifinal too,
yeah.
where
They were down 2-0.
they were down number 1 seeds McArthur and Chris Callis were trying to go through Mike Ferreira, and they lost the first 2 games, and they.
I don't know how long that match was, but it might have been 2 hours.
Yeah, it was long, and they completely changed their strategy. They instead of going through Mike, they went over his head, and that changed the dynamic a lot.
For sure, lots of play at the back of the court.
Yeah, but here there's been no change in strategy. Both teams are content to. There's one through the middle for you. James Stout just punted back.
Like I said, I competed against Robin so many times. I just know that lots of times his strategy is stick with the strategy.
Right.
And if it's a good enough strategy, if you think it's gonna work, then you can do it for 2 hours, and it might take 2 hours to work.
Yeah.
And he's okay with that, which is a testament to him for sure.
Yeah, I was describing earlier that I used to play with Taylor Fawcett on left wall, and I'm a natural right wall player. And I used to see 95% of the balls, and I couldn't shoot myself out of trouble on the left wall. I always could on the right wall, so it's tough to work me over on the right wall.
11-10.
The left wall, it's so mentally taxing. So that's good for Robin to stay focused as a backhand left waller for 2 hours and just keeping with the plan.
It's I don't know how you've dealt with that before. Like
I kind of surprise people with a few shots out of the blue.
I play forehand, but it's always frustrating when the
you don't
opponents
see the ball.
Are playing you.
Yeah.
Or it's also frustrating when the
11 all.
opponents are playing the other person. So it's like,
it's tough to work over a forehand.
Tough either way, really.
Yeah.
Because
you want to be a balanced team where nobody gets worked over.
Exactly. And to be fair, I think both these teams are actually quite balanced. I think I wouldn't really pick on any player here. I think Stout McArthur is a balanced team, and I would say Zach and Robin is a balanced team.
Zach, I guess, is probably the, as far as singles softballs, is a more accomplished singles player. But and he's got that mentality out there of
and he's
very
been
patient.
playing quite a bit of singles, I think, up until recently. So he's probably very
12-11
right now, and
Robin
good.
From the right. 12-11.
But I wish I had a buck for every top 10 singles players I beat in doubles. So, you got to be able to.
Well, that's just it.
You got to be willing to shoot.
Yeah,
and,
it was.
And you got to,
I
it's
remember.
a team game.
Yeah,
it's a
for
team
sure.
Game.
I know Shabana's played a little bit of doubles in Toronto and doesn't love it.
You'd think he'd be really good at it.
Yeah, well, shot making, I think he's got to play. He's got to play a bit more. I think he tried it a couple times, and the angles
probably got scared.
Yeah, well, that's what I think.
It's a tough game.
Obviously, he'd be fantastic at it.
Yeah, lefty especially. Lefty with great hands, but
yeah, beautiful hands.
Yeah, maybe he'll.
My favorite singles player ever, I think.
Oh, don't. Hopefully, Jonathan Power isn't listening to us here, singing the praises of his friend Amr Shabana.
I think they're good buddies. I think that's fine.
Yeah.
This is an interesting point here. This is
12-11, second game for Clarke and Alexander, and that. Robin's going over Greg's head.
Oh, that's a good spot. That's a good dying lob over Robin's head. Tough to get over Robin's head, to be fair.
Oh yeah, and Greg too.
I think
Greg's
tall.
Yeah, well, Greg's tall as well. They haven't. It's been tough for sure. Because Greg's been bringing it down and hitting the overhead reverse.
Some big boys on court for sure. Good reverse winner.
13-12.
Backhand boast angle anyway.
Yeah.
From Greg. That's a good spot to hit.
This is critical for Team Black to
What
stay
they
in
want
this
if
game
they,
because
yeah, it's tough mentally. So you go down 2-0. If I were them, obviously you're gonna want to win this game, but mentally it's a.
and how are you
it's a
going to win
big
it
change.
too? So are you going to? Oh, that's a little loose from Robin playing that high 3 wall.
Yeah. Let's see what he does here.
We're going to get lost, Greg.
Just a bit patient.
Sacks
Patient
in the
rally for sure.
Oh, there we go. So
That's
Greg's
a
been
tough
hitting
error.
a lot of winners, but he does make
has
the
he hit a
errors.
couple? He's hit a couple winners from that point.
Oh yeah,
that's a
13 all.
The last point of the last game, he hit.
Is that right?
A backhand cross drop for a winner.
That's a bad error from in my mind. You don't want to 12 all. You don't want to make it.
I think
at
it's
that point.
I think it's 13.
Well, it's
13 all now.
Is that right?
I think they've got the wrong score from the referee.
Gotcha.
There it is, 13 all at the bottom of the screen there.
Oh yeah.
Critical
Just
spot
updated now.
in the match here.
Straight down the line. Oh, that's a good spot.
So you're going to play the Canadian Nationals in Toronto?
Yeah, I think I think I will. I don't. It's. I've played it the last maybe 6 or 7 years, so I haven't taken a break. Well, actually, last year I took a break. I tore a ligament in my thumb. I couldn't play. But
I think
me and Victor won it the year previous, and then
that was in Vancouver, right?
That was in Vancouver,
Yep.
and then me and Marianne, I think, lost it 3 years in a row to
I remember one of
to
those
Robin
losses,
and Scott,
Yeah.
and then I won it with Gary before that. But
Gary,
Waite,
I've
the
heard
legend
him,
of the
yes.
game.
Yeah, I've
It was
heard of Gary.
Me and him
James
won it
from the
when he was a
right.
young 49-year-old, I think.
Stout from the right. 14,
But,
13,
With the body of a
game ball.
60-year-old.
Yeah, it's a legend of a game. Legend
Oh yeah,
of the game.
no, we all know Gary. He's won this
Yeah.
event many
No,
times.
no one on the stream doesn't know Gary, for sure. If you do, if you don't know him, you should search him up.
Yeah, go on YouTube or something.
Yeah,
maybe
yeah.
Yeah,
Legend.
many matches against Gary.
Legend of the game.
Actually, we're undefeated as a team.
You and Gary,
Yeah,
you guys ever play together or what?
We won. We won the Gold Rockets 2 years in a row.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
amateur
I
event.
believe it.
Amateur event, but no. We
And
beat some
out,
good
14
teams.
all.
There's like a lot of pros played in that event in the past.
This is I'm excited for this rally. What do you think? Is it going to be a winner or an error? What do you think?
Well, I think
I would think an error.
I think Greg is going to decide it.
You think he's the
I
he's
think
the factor?
Greg's going to win.
He's the factor.
I think Greg is the factor.
Gotcha.
He's the one guy on the court who's
Yeah,
been
I don't
aggressive.
see Zach going for a winner at this point. I see Robin maybe, depending on his situation. Oh, error from Robin. That's
a rare error. He's
that's
mad
a
at that because that's
huge
not
error.
not in his game plan. Yep.
No, he's. I still see a good chance of them coming back. Maybe, I don't know.
Well,
but
they might have to change their game plan. We'll wait and see. We'll be back in 90 seconds with Game 3 of the second semifinal.
like he came in somewhere, like one of those areas in like the like boozy kind of. What's that? Yeah, it's like Westport or Southport or yeah. Yeah, no, actually, yeah, he's good. Yeah, he's got $40. Yeah, no, just pay now, please. On the winner. $1.50. You guys are really in the hole here. Yeah, honestly. I got 3 to 1 off Brinkman. Kaiser Susie. Wait, joking, Greggy. Joking. Really? Who? I am, yep. Yep. I think it comes on maybe when you...
Okay, here we go for game 3. It's Andrew Slater coming from the University Club in Boston. This is the 29th straight year of professional doubles at the University Club. Currently, we've got the number 2 seeds, James Stout and Greg McArthur leading. Robin Clarke and Zach Alexander. And I'm joined by Thomas Brinkman, who is a seasoned professional from Vancouver, Canada. And I believe you're in the Pro-Am final against Josh Hollings and his partner Morgan Poor tomorrow.
That's right. Yeah, me and my partner Chris O'Brien.
Chris O.B., yeah.
Chris
Chris and I play a lot.
Week.
Yeah. Chris is a national champion in the century in the over 60s.
I saw him on the wall earlier this week at the University Club here in Boston.
Yeah, and Morgan Poor's been a past son of the father and son champions in the U.S.
Yeah,
so
that's right.
It's going to be a great Pro-Am final tomorrow.
So what do you think? What do you think Black has to do here? Do you think they're going to change their strategy? Like we talked a bit previously about
if they lost the game,
sticking with a strategy, and if it's the right strategy, they'll kind of stick to it for 2 hours. But do you think they're going to change, or is
from that first rally, not much. But Greg McArthur did a sportsmanlike move there. He
Greg is standing there with his hands on his hips like he's tired.
Yeah.
1-all.
It'll be interesting if they can.
Two Zach Alexander winning drop shot there that Greg couldn't get, and then James Stout fired a winner. That could be interesting.
Stroke.
It's got to be a stroke.
Yeah, let point for Robin Clarke. Everyone likes to say stroke, but doubles is a term.
That's what I think.
Let point. Stroke is probably a better term.
2-1. Yep. Second serve.
I'm really old school.
Sounds like it's John Roberts on the mic reffing in the middle.
So far, there hasn't been too much controversy. These guys are pretty clean.
For sure, a clean match.
Yeah. So a little bit of pace from Robin Clarke there. He's not trying to lob. He's back to lobbing Greg again.
And it's funny because Greg can be dangerous from up top there, but where else are you going to put it? Like he's hit some backhand winners.
Right.
Where do you want to put Greg? He tried a top spin drop. But that was maybe a mental error. That's what.
Yeah,
that's what
side 3-1.
Could be tiring. So if you're Robin Clarke and Zach Alexander, you see that you're going, okay, well, that was kind of a loose shot. Is he tired? Have we got him where we want him?
Yeah. Was that a physical or mental error? Oh, another error.
One.
Okay.
4-1.
So it's we're starting off.
Compounding the pain.
I got James Bamber just behind us. He's one of the youngest, hottest kids on the SDA tour.
Yes, we're familiar with James here. He's from Bristol, the tough town of Bristol, England.
He is the current head pro at the at the
Hand
Round
out
Hill
through
Club.
4.
So
James is doing a sober January as well. That's
well,
going well,
he must be miserable, just
Yeah.
like Jamie Bentley.
Does Bentley do sober January?
January, yes, he does.
How many years have you been doing that?
Oh, 30.
For those of you listening,
40.
Bentley is
One of the greats of the
the
game.
greats of the game. We were talking about Gary Wade earlier. Bentley also one of the greats of the game. Bentley's definitely taught me a lot in this game.
Yeah, he's a go-to guy.
Taught me how to hit people as well.
I was one of his
Drag
favorite
left
targets.
side,
So
3-4.
I would. No,
Yeah, he's probably taught Mariani how to hit people. That's probably happened.
no, Mariani does that by accident.
It's never been on purpose.
Yeah, no, it's hit the frame. Oh boy, that was coming towards the camera. I flinched.
Second man,
James Stout
right
was
side.
beaten on the shot, tried to play it
I
back.
saw you
Five.
flinch, actually.
Yeah, and hit it into the netting, right by our left camera. So
So what do you think will happen if Clarke Alexander win this game? What do you think
And
is
out
going to be the
6-3.
outcome of the match? Because like obviously if they lose, they're going to lose. But like if they win, do you think that momentum's on their side? They're going to win.
well, we've had a 0-2. We've had a comeback from 0-2 from Manic and Chris Callis already tonight.
It's a
So
great comeback.
yeah, well they really. What's interesting
They
is
dug
that
in deep because like game 3, 4, and 5 were not they weren't or they were very close. They weren't like
They weren't blowouts, but-
no, they were. Maybe,
well the fourth game. The
maybe
fourth
the
game
fourth
was.
game was a bit of a blowout. Okay.
But definitely the third and fifth game were pretty good all the way to the midpoint. But neither one of these teams has really changed strategy.
No, I've noticed that as well. It seems like the same strategy,
Down.
but yet you find Clarke Alexander
7-3 up 7-3
and
now.
Zach left, 7-3.
I go again. I played against this team, and they stick to a strategy, and they
Yeah.
know it might last.
And then-
They
I tried
might have to
closing
play
it
for
on
2
and
hours
trying
with
to
that
bring it
strategy.
Yeah,
So
and-
I find that interesting.
Yeah, and so what do you think James went over to tell Greg? I mean, Greg's made a few errors here. Is
That
he
usually
saying,
fixes
just steady, or don't go near the tin?
You
If you're
know
gonna
what?
go for a shot.
I don't know about you,
Shot, stop.
but I always have a couple chats with my partners.
Oh, I'm
Robin Wright,
talking
7-4.
all the time with the audience, my partner.
So I've had a couple where
Stare down the opponents,
Well, I'll say something like if I think it's the right shot, I'll encourage my partner.
Yeah.
I know you hit the 10.
Mhm.
It's the right shot. Just go for that next time because, it's a confidence game, really.
Right? Yeah, you got it. I mean, in doubles, you definitely.
You don't want to say, oh no.
Hand out, 5-7.
Shouldn't hit that shot because if it's the right shot, it's the right shot. You
Right.
gotta hit winners
Yeah.
in doubles. Like
Exactly. You have to.
it's an angles
You
game.
have to.
like,
You have to move your opponents by going up and back on the court, and some people like to play a patient game, like Robin, and
Just lap.
some people.
Robin's a very
5-7.
patient player. He's
Yeah.
one of the most patient players I've ever played against.
It's or do you tell someone, oh, let's just play, grind length for a couple of rallies? I don't
Right,
know.
yeah, get your
'Cause
get your
Oh,
timing
right.
back.
I've said that before as well, and I've said that before.
Drag left,
talking to
6-7.
partner. I've never played with you. You seem like you must hit a lot of winners there.
Right wall, I didn't used to. Right wall, I do. Left wall, I don't.
But you hit
so
a lot
much.
of winners now, is what you're saying. That's what I'm gathering.
If I'm set up, yeah, I go for it.
Nice.
We old guys don't want to play long.
Do you want
long rallies.
to maybe teach me a thing or two, or what?
Oh, you're quite capable of hitting. It's just a mental
we
thing
won
about
our
going
first
for
match in 2 hours 15 minutes. Not
pretty loose
if you go ratio, there's a lot of rallying time.
it. Yeah.
6-8.
So look at this. It's still pretty close. Greg actually hit a winner, and like Zach Alexander from the back of the court just fired one into the ceiling. He's been frozen out a little bit
It's
here.
a bit of a, that's a, like, to me again, that's a mental error. That's
yeah.
You know, it's a crucial time in the game, right? You don't want to make an error at that point.
It was off, you know, it's basically off the serve too.
Robin firing it into the tin. That's a, when you're up 8
8
what
all.
were they, 8-5, 8-6,
They were
and
7-4,
now they're 8 all.
8-6, and now 8 all. It's like,
it's so different being, even if you're down 2-0, being up 8-6. This is because I don't know if you know, Stout McArthur. If I'm them, I'm just gonna like grind big rallies because you see the light at the end of the tunnel. That's what
It's tough when you're dealing with fire because he's the guy putting the ball away. He's also the guy making the most errors. So,
True.
you know, if he's 60%, he's 60%.
Bit dangerous
he's
from
up.
Robin there.
Oh yeah. If you're gonna hit somebody, make sure you don't hit your player.
Yeah,
Hand out, 9-8.
as long as you don't hit your own player, that's then you're fine.
Okay, coming in are Zach Alexander serving to James Stout, so they're up 9-8, but really,
Tight rallies.
this is definitely a mental torture for the players out there. Good cover by Zach Alexander. The front of the court for Robin Clarke.
So would you say that Greg is making the most plays on court? Like,
Yeah,
he's making a lot of winners
he has to.
and
I think
errors, right?
he might be doing that. I mean, he's an offensive
yeah,
player to
offensive
start,
player,
but
for sure.
you know,
Robin being defensive for sure.
yeah. So, you know, Greg might be, you know, thinking that he's a little under the weather, and I'm going to take a few more risks.
Oh, this is an interesting rally here. Robin
wow.
going for it at a bad time.
Clarke on the left.
9-all.
9-all.
Third game. Team in black down 0-2.
Slater, if you were a gambling man, who would you bet on this game?
I would say they haven't worked Greg McArthur over enough.
I agree with that.
And
I agree.
I would say
whatever
that
their
he's still
strategy
dangerous.
was, I don't think it would. Like you even see Greg is just standing there with his hands on his knees. He's tired.
Yeah, he
sick
is.
for like a week.
Oh. Okay.
But why? Now he looks
He looks
super
dead.
exhausted.
Yeah, he's going. Come on, James. Sorry about that. Bad bounce. I didn't want that. So Robin Clarke serving 10-9, and they're going. It's kind of like playing Michael Chang at the French Open, where Michael Chang is cramping up and he's giving you an underhand serve. And
but still playing amazing.
yeah, and it's like, when is this guy gonna like give up?
I think you're dating yourself with Michael Chang right now.
Well, it's tough when it's like a wounded animal you're playing against, and Greg is definitely wounded at the moment, so you got to be careful.
Yet they're not taking on the wounded animal. Interesting.
Well, I think James.
Greg's playing well though. They're like you can't even say that. You know, you and me know that he's been sick, but he's actually playing well. He's moving decently well. Like, yeah, he's doing fine. Wouldn't you say?
Yeah, I mean he's really hanging. There's a winner, so he's hanging in really nicely. But when you go by body language, it's like you know, he's in his death game over there.
Sorry, 10-all.
Well, if body language could talk.
But you know, maybe it's just a whole strategy for Robin to give him the ball a little bit more so that he can hit winners. But we'll see. 10-all, and here's testing out the backhand of James Stout. He's very steady player.
Robin just playing to the backhand.
Yeah.
This is going to be interesting. He's good. Okay, forehand. What does he do? Oh, that's a
Wow,
big error from
that's
Stout.
yeah.
That's a big error.
Stout, 10-11 left
That
side.
was a loose ball
I
too.
like the aggressiveness personally, but
Yeah. He hasn't had to go for a shot in a while.
Error. Yeah, he hasn't gone for a shot. Yeah, I bet you Stout doesn't go for any winners in these next 4 rallies just because he had an error. He just went for a crossford Nick, so I don't know what I'm talking about.
What do we know?
Yeah, what do I know?
We're not out there at the moment. These guys seem to know what they're
Oh
doing.
my God.
Okay, there's the overhead.
I didn't see
Side
what happened.
front,
I looked
yeah.
down.
Greg- 11 all.
Greg
What
hit a
happened there?
beautiful overhead.
McArthur
side
is
net,
like
yeah.
reverse or
No,
crossford Nick?
no, straight
Oh,
neck.
straight kill.
Straight front walls, right side neck on the
I think that's,
on the forehand side.
I honestly think that's a tougher shot to hit
It is a tougher shot to hit.
than a
yeah.
reverse or a
But you
crossford Nick.
can't defend against it because if you feel, I was telling to
Well,
Will
you have to
Hardigan
be
that.
so far up. Like,
Yeah,
there's
well,
no way
I've
anybody
been
can be
trying to
that
get
far
Will
up.
Hardigan to hit that because I saw, his opponent when he goes up in the air, his opponent is right to his left.
You're
and
talking
he's just
today's
driving
match.
it down.
Today's match.
Not today's match, yesterday's match, and Greg just absolutely hit a perfect one there.
By the way, I got to give Will props. I think he played amazing this weekend.
Yes, he did. He's a club member.
Will is a force.
12-11.
Like he's been playing amazing.
Yeah, he's got a great partner in Mike Ferreira, a veteran who really knows the doubles
Ferreira
game.
like lit up. A couple times. Like Ferreira's attacking game is amazing.
Yes.
Ferreira beat me and Will. Ferreira and Bamber beat me and Will last weekend in the finals of the Oxridge Club. Good. It was, they beat us 3-0.
Here we are. It's 11-12, and
I find that I still don't know who's going to win this game, even though it's 2-0,
Yeah,
12-11.
it's interesting.
It's such good. It's good double spin.
It's still a mental game here. They're unwilling to. Although Robin's going to Stout a little bit more.
I would have said go to McArthur at this point, but I don't know.
Maybe they think he's too hot and they want to cool him down a little bit.
Just body language. He just seems like he's tired. I know he's been sick, so maybe we can see that from the camera.
There's
Look at his body language now, right?
It's the error.
Hand out, 12 all.
So whether they went to Stout to cool him off a little bit and then go to him and. 12 all. 12 all. Zach Alexander serving 2. James Stout.
Said it. I shouted it.
So I'm here with Cole Osborne, who is in main round player. He lost first round, but I lost a bet to him, so I'm paying him $10.
I'm sorry. Was that on your performance or his performance?
Robin.
No, we bet
12-13.
on someone else, but I won't state who we bet on.
Oh, okay.
That's frowned upon, I think.
We're not at the Cambridge Club at the moment. Stout McArthur up 13-12 in the third game, and they're up 2-love.
Honestly, 14-15 in the second, and I bet you the third is going to be 14-15. And it's like the difference of 2 points can be massive, right?
Greg
Big
hit the
error.
10. It was the wrong shot too, because both
Robin right,
Clarke
13
and
all.
Alexander were up in the court.
Robin,
I can't hear you, man.
13 all.
13 all.
We're live like 20.
Robin just went through the middle to Stout's backhand a couple times there.
I thought that was a winner.
I thought it was too.
Oh,
great gut from
great
Zach
get.
Alexander.
What an exciting rally.
Oh boy. They might be appealing. They might be appealing a get here, but I think they've forgotten about it.
Is there a flag on the play or what?
They're,
Hand
I
out,
think-
McArthur.
So, I thought everything was good.
Yeah. Here we are, match ball. Greg McArthur serving to Robin
Match
Clarke.
ball, game ball. I don't know about you, Slater. I really hope this goes to fortune.
Well, it would be exciting. Stout McArthur.
They're looking.
Oh, I'm surprised he didn't go for reverse there.
Yeah, you think it's going to be someone going for a winner that's going to make it, or do you think it's going to be an error?
Well, I
said
said
this
it-
last game. And,
I predicted Greg McArthur would go for a winner, and it was an error from Robin Clarke. So.
I think Zach might hit a winner this game, like this rally. That's what I think
Okay,
might happen.
you're taking the high odds.
It's definitely outside odds.
Yeah.
I don't know if you're a gambling man, but that's
I
call that a prop bet.
Yeah. Oh, it's a winner from Stout. Backhand winner from James Stout.
Match
We didn't
McArthur,
see that
Stout,
coming.
3-love.
Okay, long match, but a 3-love victory for James Stout, Greg McArthur. So we got the first two seeds in the final tomorrow.
It's tune in at 1 o'clock, right?
Well, Thomas, good luck in the Pro-Am final.
Thank you.
And we might see you tomorrow for the final, unless you got a flight back to Toronto.
Well,
But the
my
final
flight's
is
at
at
4
1
o'clock.
o'clock tomorrow.
I'll be here for the first portion.
Okay.
Thanks.
All right, over and out from professional squash doubles land.